है जो तुम हो परमात्मा, रूप चतुर्भुजधार। दर्शन मोहि दीजिए प्रभु, हो जाए बेड़ा पार। ओ प्रभु तेरी महिमा किस विधि गाओ, प्रभु तेरी महिमा किस विधि गाओ। ओ प्रभु तेरी महिमा किस विधि गाओ। निरंजन रूप तुम्हारो, अलख निरंजन रूप तुम्हारो। किस विधि ध्यान लगाऊं, किस विधि ध्यान लगाऊं। प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ, प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ। ओ प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ। वेद पार अजबु नहीं पायो, वेद पार अजबु नहीं पायो। मैं कैसे बतलाऊं, मैं कैसे बतलाऊं। प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाऊं, प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाऊं। ओ प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाऊं। ओ गंगा जमुना नीर बहाए, गंगा जमुना नीर बहाए। माँ जानकी मकराओ, माँ जानकी मकराओ। प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ, प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ। ओ प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ। वृषभ विधि गाओ। ओ पांच भूत के ध्यान तुम्हारो, पांच भूत के ध्यान तुम्हारो। चंदन की मणि प्रताओ, चंदन की मणि प्रताओ। प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ, प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ। ओ प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ। कर कर जो कराओ, हाथ जोड़ कर जो कराओ, बार बार सिर नाओ, बार बार सिर नाओ, प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ, प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ, प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ। दास जनों को मिटा के ऊपर जा, ओ दास जनों को मिटा के ऊपर जा, घट घट दर्शन पाऊं, घट घट दर्शन पाऊं, प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ, प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ, ओ प्रभु तोरे महिमा किस विधि गाओ।
Sing on it, Phil. Sing on it, Phil. Sing on it. आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। पूरब पश्चिम उत्तर दक्षिण, पूरब पश्चिम उत्तर दक्षिण, जहाँ देखे वहाँ हनुमान, जहाँ देखे वहाँ हनुमान, श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। पर प्रसाद बनी है, पर प्रसाद बनी है, आय के भोग लगाओ हनुमान, लगाओ हनुमान, श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। सजीवन लाए हनुमान जी, सजीवन लाए हनुमान जी, सजीवन लाए हनुमान जी, लक्ष्मण के जीवा बचाए हनुमान, बचाए हनुमान, श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान आओ हनुमान, श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। सीता खबर हनुमान जी लाए, सीता खबर हनुमान जी लाए, सीता खबर हनुमान जी लाए। लंका में आग लगाए हनुमान, लगाओ हनुमान, श्री राम जी के पूजन में आए, श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। आओ हनुमान आओ हनुमान, आओ हनुमान आओ हनुमान, श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। श्री राम जी के पूजन में आओ हनुमान। आया रे देवी आया रे, बाला जोगी आया रे लक्ष्मी आया रे, बाला जोगी आया रे। आया रे देवी आया रे, बाला जोगी आया रे देवी आया रे, बाला जोगी आया रे। अंग बभू चलिए मुंडमाला, कृष्ण हाथ लपटाया है। आया देवी आया रे, बाला जोगी आया रे। आया रे देवी आया रे, बाला जोगी आया रे। जोगी आया रे लक्ष्मी आया रे, बाला जोगी आया रे मैया आया रे, बाला जोगी आया रे। नाचे हो नाचे हुई दुनिया दौलत, नाचे हो तेरी दुनिया दौलत, कृष्ण नाम का खजाना है। नाचे हो तेरी दुनिया दौलत, कृष्ण नाम सताया है। देवी आया रे राजा जोगी आया रे लक्ष्मी आया रे, बाला जोगी आया रे लक्ष्मी आया रे, बाला जोगी आया रे।
प्रेम से बोलो वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की। Everybody, let's all stand as we are about to begin this session with Arti and invocation. I invite everybody to please clasp your hands. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam Deepam Grihana Devesham Trailokya Timidapaham. Jai Jai Bhagwat Bhagwan Ki
आरती पापियों को पाप से है आरती भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है दर्शन दिखाने वाला जग की मंगल की आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला ये है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी ये मधुसूदन की आरती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती ये मधुर बोल जग पंड खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला ये श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही प्रभु की महिमा के आरती everybody जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पाप से है तारती Let's pray together everybody गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपितजम्बो फलचारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शो नमामि विघ्नेश्वर सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शरण्ये नारायणी गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्देवो गुरुर्साक्षात् Tasmai Shri Om Namo Vasudevaya. Om Namo Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki jai. Everybody, please have your seats. Make yourself comfortable. Thank you. I apologize for the little delay. I was looking for something and I finally found it. This discourse that we're about to do has a profound blessing as we end in the 20th session. And it is time to get ready to do Visarjan and to close off. So I wanted to do a discourse now and later that maybe some people did not hear, didn't know. So I went to look for the Katha. You know, we are told about the origin of Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandha, that mantra. The little boy is told, his name is Markendeya, he's told his parents were praying, they couldn't have children. Just to recap, they couldn't have children. And they prayed, and they are told that you will get a child. But the child will live good, healthy, up to 16. And when that 16 year come, things will take a different turn, it will go differently. For the typical person, that is what we know about that young fella. Since in that time, Rigveda is where that Trayambaka mantra is. We know it, we use it. There are different versions of that Trayambaka mantra depending on what you are facing, the different types of trouble and struggle. The person uses one of 7 versions of it to get the removal or to push back through the blessings of Lord Shiva, untimely death, sickness, trouble in different ways. But if I were to ask you here and now as a Hindu, what becomes of our little boy after 16? Baba, I really don't know. Today we are going to hear about what happens to him as he aged, as he went on, taken from Skanda 12 of Bhagwat. Before we do so, everybody put your hands together. I was looking, and as I said, this is why I came a little late, forgive me for it, but it took some time to find this thing. This prayer, I have different people with me now. Sickness takes the front and center. We've been praying throughout this year's yag. We've been doing katha that brings about different blessing. And in the chapter, at the end of the chapter, it says, by listening to it, you get this. By the end of the chapter, you get this. This is the mahatyam of just listening to this particular discourse. This is no different. Take my advice, put your hands together, close your eyes. Dear Lord Vishnu, what I'm about to hear will help me. I don't know what troubles for the younger person I may have, for the person who is ailing, sickly, those of you at home, those of you looking on, for the people that are viewing, who sent the message this morning for me to read something that would assist them. There's somebody, my good friend in this area in Princestown is Dr. Ramnath. And he always tells me, you're going to have to excuse me upon it. I believe in prayers. He's a very God-guided man. God bless him. But he says, I'll have to miss your prayer because you guide and you serve the public in your way. You help them, you pray for them, you save them. And I leave my office and I rush to meet them by the car. I serve God's children in that way. When they cannot lift their hand, when they cannot bend their finger anymore, in the form of Dr. Ramdat from Lothians, that man and many doctors like him continue to serve the public, the children of God. Last night we met doctor from San Fernando General singing Kanjari bhajans and styles of singing. And different people pass through our yagna. But when we have sickness, God, I want some help. So in this discourse that we're about to take in, health and help is the benefit, and you'll hear more. Firstly, ask Prabhu, dear Lord, as I'm about to listen, especially if you represent a sick, if you represent somebody in the family that is ailing, somebody looking on at this life right now that has problems, this is the time to pray. Ask God that, firstly, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to hear this Bhagwat. Bless this Bhagwat to enter my body and heal me. Redhi Siddhi Data Siddhi Sadana Vadana Vadana Sumiro Badam Bad Madana Kadana Kilalaku Ganapati Kripa Nidhan Jnana Kani Ananda Bhavana Dehu Mohi Baradan Vadano Bharsha Bhagavat Jai 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 Jagadisha Sevat Shesha Mahesha Mahimamita Deva Veda Veda Janat Rahe Riddhi Siddhi Data Siddhi Sadana Varana Varana Sumiro Badambar Madana Kadana Kelalako Sumiro Badambar Madana Kadana Kelalako. Prem Svalo Mahapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. According to Hindu tradition, the Rishi Markandeya is the person who is freed from the clutches of death by virtue of his prayer to Mahadev Baba. This Ashtakam, Chandrasekhara Ashtakam, is something that is found only in the Markandeya Puran. In this text, there's a lot of prayer for spiritual protection. If a person is, based on our discourse, where we are talking about the nursing form, Baba, we talk about offering rock salt, salt in the hawan to protect a person. To be quite frank, when you are under duress, when people are doing negative black magic, how to fight it, how to beat it, we talk about it. People do tamasic bhakti prayer, prayer that will inflict pain, suffering, things that a doctor cannot reach. The same doctor will tell you, I feel you better go and talk to your pundit, something is not right. I'm doing the blood test, I'm doing this test, and I cannot find the source of your problem. It seems to be hidden. All right, no problem. Bad does exist. But then, how to fix it? I say my Chalisa, Hanuman Baba, but I feel I'm not seeing the help I'm looking for. And as we heard in that discourse, just to remind you, when Prahlad goes and begs nursing, the blessing that nursing gives, when the child is innocent and under duress of the attack of any aggressor, Nourishing is the form when the disease, when the sickness takes things like, let me just to be clear, lupus, thalassemia, different genetic disorder, different types of cancer, when negative, when the body is becoming septic and different types of sickness is going and it is advancing rapid, the Hindu turns to form. There is potent prayer. This Markandeya Puran is created in this discourse study in Bhagavad. The person wants to understand how to do Mrityunjay Jap, how to offer, what to offer, the different versions of the mantra. Markandeya gives it in his Puran. That is the value of doing that Puran. When a person has sick and they have a sickly person at home, you use this Markandeya Puran to read when you have Shiv Puja. And you are asking God for his blessing. The blessing that you are looking for is contained in that book. Today, just for our benefit, we're going to do a couple of verses, nothing long, of that same Markandeya Puran, where the Chandrasekhara Ashtakam is listed. This is where he is worshipping Mahadev with the moon on his head. For our Yagya, this is the second to last session, where Bhagavad is going to be worshipped. And for our discourse, you would notice that Lord Shiva is paramount. Lord Shiva is one of the most popular people in this Bhagavad. Now we're going to ask him for his blessing. If you have your burden, for those of you at home, you have stress, it could be mental problems, mental sickness is real, bodily pain, different type of ailments. All, we take all to Lord Shiva. Put your hands together, everybody. In your mind, whilst I'm chanting these little wordy prayers, you could use Om Namah Shivaya, Om Trayambakam, and you say your prayers. Pray for yourself, pray for children, pray for grandchildren. Talk to God. Hari Om Chandrasekhara 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 Pahitim Pahitim Chandrasekhara 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 Rakshamam Ratna Sanudsarasanam Rajata Drishti Shringatam Ketakam Ganja Manuja Kundalanam Gunaratna Bhushita Bhushanam Panchabhannanata Dahanam Prapanjajana Vaikaparyanyanam Chandrasekhara Rahasyakam Mama Kim Karishyami Vai Namaha Mata Varna Mukha Chamar Kritaye Manoharam Pankajam Sanatanam Padmalochanam Pujita Gritas Rurudhanam Devasundaram Tarangritam Karasika Shobharatnadhararam Chandrasekhara Rahasyakam Mama Kim Karishyate Vayaham Om Kundale Krita Kundaleshwara Kundalam Vrikshavahanam Naradi Munindra Dravanam Vandita Vaibhavam Bhuvaneshwaram Andhaka Kantakama Shritam Mara Mara Padam Panam Samanantakam Chandrasekhara Masrakam Mama Kim Karishyami Vainamam. I seek refuge with the God, that great force that has the moon on his head. With that moon, he stabilizes the different cycles, the different forces. He enforces magnetism, maintaining the pole, north and south pole that guides this earth, that guides the divinity in the water, the different cycles that exist in plants. all of this rests on the head of Mahadev. That one who adorns himself with different types of serpents as his earrings. The bull Nandi is his Vahan. I bow to that Shiva. The one who destroys Andaka, the one who makes the Kalpa Vriksha tree or the wish granting tree, the one who shelters me from the gaze, the effectiveness, the touch of Yamraj. When I seek refuge in him, what can Yamraj do to me? Oma Pati Mahadeva Ki Jai. This is the person we call Markandeya. This is the quality of his prayer when he was young. Raja Parikshit is asking, before you conclude all your discourses, before you stop, before you finish this 7th day, he knows that his time is coming to a close. And we heard where he has already given. And this is why I did it in this order. Just as it is laid out in Bhagavad, he heard how Brahma comes in the 11th Skanda to meet Krishna and says, the time for you to go back is here. You have to leave. We heard how Shiva comes as the son of Krishna, gets the shrap, the arrow is made. Bali, the brother of Sugriv, who fought in the forest when Ram hid in the bush to shoot Bali, that Bali now has come back as a hunter named Jara in Bhagavad Katha to effectively karma. Ram, Vishnu hid and shot Bali. Bali is going to come now and in the bushes like a hunter shoot, thinking the Sham Sundar foot, the black foot of Krishna playing in the water at the root of a peepal tree, playing in the Yamuna, thought that dark foot was the mouth or the head of a deer, and he shoots. When the arrow hits him, the charioteer, not knowing what is happening to him, comes to look for Krishna and finds him bleeding. We were informed all of this already. But now, the Krishna Leela is not completely finished. But Parikshit still says, before you finish, before you wrap up this story, wait. I want to hear one more piece of information. I have heard that when a person wants to have the protective power of bhakti, one of our guiding lights is Markandeya. But I don't understand how. I don't understand how that little boy that we hear about with Triambaka mantra could inspire or bless me to have faith if I don't have it already. If I have some and I want more, how does a little boy, we all know the pitya, you know the katha, where he hug up the lingam and Yamraj come to pull him and fighting him, using prayer to protect him. In that moment, Lord Shiva appears and says, why are you touching my child? Don't ever come wrong somebody who is saying their prayers and calling me. You cannot stand up here for this Trishul. No untimely death, nothing like that. This person has the potency to change the destiny. And we've spoken about how sometimes in the hospital we all have to die. But when the person's prayer is so strong, it isn't hard to see cars get mashed up, but the owner of the car walk out without a scratch. Miracles do happen every day. It is left to the person to believe in their prayer or they say in their prayer halfway. When Raja Parikshit, grandson of Arjun, asked this question, Sukdev Goswami replies and he says, okay, listen. Let's hear what happens when he starts to tell them about the father. He says the son of Mrikanda. Mrikanda is the father of Markandeya. He says that son of that great Muni is blessed and he lived a very long life. Very, very long. But in the length of time that he's praying, living, he prayed a lot. Let's hear what Guruji wants to tell us. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Savo Asya Kulaye Patra Kalayugaye Snena Brigayate Nabhandu Bhutanam Yate Sankalpa Koti Jityatam. Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab. Prashante Mahabhaga Krito Loka Brahman Pahiyate Narayana Kathayatra Gita Kali Dena Yugayatam. Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. 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 Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Umapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Guruji, it is said that at some point this descendant of the person, Bhrigu, is one of the sons of Brahma. Bhrigu, they were having a yag. I don't know if you ever thought about this, but in the yag, they asked him, could you tell us who is the Pradhan Devta, who is the main Devta in our yag? Creation is now made and we have to give thanks to the energy for everything being successfully made. Who will we worship most? Who is the most fitting Devta, Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu? Bhrigu says, well, let's not make a subjective decision. Let us do an evaluation, and based on the criteria from that test, the results of the test, the most fitting person will show up. And I'm sure some people would have heard this before. When Bhrigu goes to interview, let me use an English word, interview, Brahma is so engrossed in the creation, watching everything, watching how this is going and that is going. Brahma doesn't have time with his son Bhrigu waiting to talk to him. He says, you can't be the Pradhan Devta. When your children are calling you, begging for help, you will not answer the call. You are too engrossed in this thing you make, this plan, this universe. Goes to Shiva. And Shiva is busy tending to Parvati Mata and looking on into love, all the kids, the children, the workers. He has no time for Bhrigu. Bhrigu gets angry and he says, you is not the person. Leave him. And he went to Vishnu Baba. This is the Katha. When he went there, and it so happened Vishnu was lying down, Bhrigu got angry and kicks Mahavishnu on his chest. Till today, when people describe him, the footprint of Vishnu Baba, like how people get keloid or swelling on their chest, Lord Vishnu is marked, what you might say is a birthmark, but it looks like a stamp, a little foot. But instead of getting angry in that melee, and understanding and summarizing, instead of getting angry in the melee, somebody kick you in your chest for lying down, he says, oh, Bhrigu, gets up and he starts to rub the foot. Muni, did I hurt your foot? Are you okay? And this is the katha that says, because of that, Bhrigu said, you will be the Pradhan Devta. You will be the person that when there is trouble, you will lead, and the other Devtas will follow. For this reason, you will see Vishnu Baba being the central figure in many discourses, Ram, Krishna, etc. Brigu gives him the directive that for 10 times you will come upon the earth. Hence it has this 10 avatar. Starting from what we heard about with Matsya, the fish that saved the boat, coming straight down to people like Krishna, Kalki, Buddha, etc. He is selected by Brigu. Brigu had the ability to make this choice. He is so potent. From his family came, let me say the great something, grandson. His name is Markendeya. And although he's young and he was very potent in prayer, after living for a long time, Guruji, I heard he saw something on a leaf. I don't know too much details, but tell me what was on that leaf, the circumstance for this leaf and what he saw and where it ended up. Guruji begins by saying the person who is able to listen to this story of Sri Hari Vishnu Narayan, when the person is plagued physically, like how we hear when Lord Shiva gets the shrap that his own Trishul, because of karma, this is where Mali and Sumali get involved, when Suraj Narayan Swami is hit with the Trishul, and Kashyap Muni tell Lord Shiva, you will in time take that same Trishul and you will decapitate your own son head. That Trishul will work against you. And Sumali and Mali become what we call today, one is the dry type of sore that some people have on their body. Let me say psoriasis, for example, not limited to that, but the dry one. And an example of the wet one, which was the younger brother, Mali, chicken pox, measles, emphysema, anything that have a dome and wet. It is from that discourse for the older people when you have chicken pox long time and you're unky, so it don't scratch, it don't spread, it don't get worse, it don't mark the skin, etc. It was again Lord Shiva prayers, asking for this thing to calm down and slowly heal, allow the person to heal. If the person is able to listen to this Katha of Vishnu, when they have different sin, such as the skin problem, such as internal problem, family problem, in this age of Kali Yuga, just as Markandeya is able to attain greatness, the person listening is able to get it as well. Prem Sabalo Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Guruji, please tell me how this person, before you give me the story, tell me how this person prayed. Markandeya grew up and grew into a life, never running from controlling himself. The first thing he did was he would often practice celibacy. This act of celibacy, saving his seed, the energy that other people would squander, allowed him to become very potent. Over time, he learns to control the passionate side, the animalistic side that we all have. He regulates at will his body. He maintained matted hair. We spoke about the Rasta type of hair, what it represented. And he would wear very simple clothing. On his body, he wore his janu with a tied, like if you plait kush grass, and on top of the janu with string, he wears the kush grass. On his body, he uses the Rudraksh bead. He uses, people take the kush grass and they make a jap mala, tying it like knot, going on to knot, etc. Some people just tie a piece like this with the string 108 times and they use it as a counter. For the enhancement of his discipline, he would worship Mahavishnu every day. He would maintain worship for the sun as well. In the morning Sandhya, in the evening Sandhya, and for the rest of the day, he would rest in between. He would eat, as we were hearing when we were talking about the Dattatreya, he would eat only what was given in dan to him. He was not the type to go and work hard, get money, and store things in case. This hoarding type of lifestyle, he did not hold on to that. He bought or he got, he collected what was necessary and nothing else. Getting permission from his father, he would eat. And as time passed, he maintained that timeliness of eating, never eating beyond the hour or too early, etc. So he maintained a strong, rigorous discipline, when to pray, when to sleep, when to cleanse the body, and so on. He, as a Muni, entertained a long prayer, doing jap for Lord Vishnu for 6 manvantar. 1 manvantar is 71 Mahayuga, which is the equivalent to 306 million human years. That is 1 manvantar. For 6 manvantar, he sat stable and did pray. And because of the strength, the potency of his prayer, he never in any way jibbed from the posture, the breathing, the pranayam, the diet, the focus. In different ways, he became radiant now because of the energy permeating from inside coming out. His Kundalini Shakti was very potent, and when it was glowing as if he's fire itself, Indra becomes very perturbed. Indra sends out of that worries now that who is this person praying so hard? Anytime somebody praying, Hiranyakashipu, anybody praying, they're coming to take my throne. Anybody praying hard, they're coming to take what I have. So he becomes very anxious and he becomes very, very worried. In this way, he calls on one of the Gandharvas, a girl named Chitra, and he asks Chitra to go and dance around the Muni while he's praying, break his concentration with gunguru and different instruments, etc. They tried. But, you know, somebody says, my prayer protects me. I don't know if you have had that experience, but sometime when sickness comes, somebody went to get jari, for example, or even we stepping in the car, being in a plane and something went wrong. The plane knows something wrong. The little mast thing just dropped down. It's a signal of turbulence. We could lose it here. These it be going. And you know to yourself, I'm in trouble. And in that moment, I rushed to my God. And then everything worked out. I do prayers for this lady, and she lives in Virginia in the States. And she sent the child to school. The child had a little rough morning, vexed and upset, and he left the home and he didn't kiss she. Imagine we in a big school. This building here is where it is in the library. In this building, connected by one short walkway. Some child who had some problems at home, bring one of them big semi-automatic gun, start to shoot the roof, start to shoot the wall, shoot 1 teacher, 2 teacher, 3 teacher, 4 teacher dead. And then start to shoot the children, because the children now start to rush them. Now I say children, but it's teenagers at the same time. When the person shooting rushed out, she's son was coming out the library. When he pulled the trigger, aiming at the son, connect the child in the ears. Burst. The bullet is so effective, he practically lost the whole air structure. The bullet hit and, but not the head. Blood there. There's another body. There's one. And all his parents, children, who they packed up and sent to school knowing, well, I'll see you later. But for those parents, it didn't have later. This lady says something was ringing my belly. I don't know if for parents, if all I've heard. I remember my mother tell me that. My mother make 3 children. And the middle one, me know she. One day we gone to school, we was living abroad. And friend, you see friend is a deadly thing. Miss Nandi pick up herself and she decide she in a nice dress. Mommy coming to pick me up. Madam decide to walk up the road by herself. Whilst we looking and hunting, Miss Merlin sat down in that car and cried. God, you had to show me where this child is. It had a lot of language when she find the child. But you understand that small or big, everybody just had a little test. Everybody just reached that fever that you just wonder if this thing will pass, if you could get food. I was hearing somebody break the foot yesterday playing, and you're going to say it's boy children, but that mother alone knows where she feel. In this case, all this is happening, and Indra is watching as Chitra tried to go to touch him, to enhance, to entice, and the man's prayer is saying, back off. Until you have an experience like that, maybe children may not understand what that's saying to you. But it is amazing, you watching forward and something is protecting you from the behind. I personally don't always know who is for me and who is not for me. But something does happen. And people who don't have that disposition of good to come into your circle, something does happen that without your knowledge or you doing, something does happen. Go back. Go from here. You cannot come here. Maybe the Hindu says, my prayers, I feel my God, I feel something protect me. Something divine was working. Indra gets to see how this young boy, without praying on a person, God destroy Chitra, God destroy Indra, without saying that, the prayer was able to protect him. Indra, after seeing that, respected that man's prayer and did not interfere with him, fearing he would get further damage or some form of retribution. As time goes on, in his mind, the sage praying, and he says, Mahavishnu, one day, will you shower your grace on me, manifest in a way that I could see you and talk to you, and I could be able to explain my heart's desires to you. Let's hear what happens when that moment did come. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Pavitra pani upavita vrikshkalyatam chitra mundalyate nar narayanam dharma pakshayate sutta jantayatam sakshiye nayatam dvijaye rupinau jai jai radha ramana hari bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Ye tam mahatam bhagavate rupitam nara hariyaham vrikshaye dvishyate tatha varnayatam chittaye mandalam dandavam yeyati nara hara hari. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. If you've ever heard of Badrinath or the place called Badrinath, of the 4 great places people go to Tirath in India, where Lord Vishnu had taken a form named Nar and Narayan, like a twin. 2 Muni type people dressed as he describes here, one dark, one fair, wearing their Janeu. Each had 4 hands, covering their body with deer skin. Their 2 hands have kush grass ring. These two people in other discourses where the Badrinath name comes from, Lakshmi wanted to protect him, so she takes the form of a badari tree or a type of tree. But in Trinidad, I guess you could compare it to a mortel tree, broad, and it gives good shade. The problem is this badari cannot take cold weather. But now, where it is growing, imagine for our conversation, it is as if we are in a mountainous region where it is ice and cold. That place, Badrinath, is the ashram of these two forms where people still go today to do worship, because it says that these forms of Lord Vishnu still survive, roaming this ashram where people go and pray for health. Prem se bolo Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. These two forms come into being. They are created today. When Markendeya is praying, and he wants Lord Vishnu to come, and Lord Vishnu comes in these two forms. He rose up to receive them. And whilst he is talking, the only thing he could talk to Lord Vishnu about is Lord Vishnu. He says, do you know that when a person worships Vishnu Baba, no matter what type of misery they are going through, mental misery is the word he's saying here, internal misery, external misery, whatever it is, and you want to get that emancipation, that freedom from that type of pain, you remember him. Think of him when he was the fish, when they were churning the ocean and he becomes the turtle or the tortoise, when he comes as the boar, when he comes as any form. You remember him when he comes as Dattatreya, when he comes as Prithu, when he gives Mother Earth that cow form, Prithvi name. Any one of these discourses, he says, you know, Muni, I know you are him, but I'm telling you the benefit, the secret to this whole thing. Whether it is the mobile or the immobile creation, and you want to take away trouble, you want to overcome the suppression of karma. When karma is squeezing a person and time is running out, but you are under the duress, you are being pressed and you cannot move forward. You ever hear somebody say, I'm trying to pass the exam, save the money, pay the bill, do the construction, overcome the sickness, but I feel like before I get to go forward in any circumstance, I am spinning top in mud. I cannot move. I cannot get up from where I am. Time is passing, but my circumstance cannot get better. Oh Nar, oh Narayan. Then the person has to know, wash the foot, Charan Amrit, wash the foot of this Vishnu. When the person, verse 43, chapter 8, Skanda 12, when the person secures the washing, the water of that force, that form, whether they pass it on the body, whether they drink it, whether they bathe with it, whatever it is, that person is going to see change. That person is going to see the power revealed. Just as you manifested here today for my blessing, the blessing that they will get is beyond. Here, Markendeya goes on to say a different prayer. Put your hand together. We'll do one verse. Seeing the two of them talking this talk, he uses this moment, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this with you. Tasmai namo bhagavate purushaya bhaumne vishwa gaurave paradvaitavam narayanam rahasya cha narutamaya hasya samyat grihe nigamishwaraya. I offer, as he's standing in front of this living divinity, the incarnation Maha Vishnu, I offer my humble obeisances to you, Vishnu. You are the all-pervading throughout this universe. You are the spiritual master to guide a person to traverse this universe. I bow to you, O Hari Vishnu, Supreme Being, God appearing here now as a sage, saintly Nara, and Narayan, the best human. May you give me control over my speech, my thoughts, my deeds. Yam ve na ve vitaksha patir Brahmadhiha Santanam Swakeshu Ashu Hridayapi Dirgapateshu Tanmaya Vrita Mati Sa Eva Sakshad Adva Twarakel Kila Guru Upased Vedyam. Vishnu Baba, you can make the most impossible thing come possible. With your intelligence, with your energy, my perverted, confused, ignorant, arrogant senses, lost senses, by your permission, I could have the vision, the concept, the awareness to see you. You are always present, but not always can I see you in the heart, in the mind, in the body, in the moment when something is unfolding. But if you bless me, I'll be able to see it. May you allow me that type of vision. May you allow me that type of mind to be realized that you are with me. Blessed is the person who chants this prayer as Markendeya did, that when this life seems to be spinning out of control, yes, it is because of karma, but when you want to take control of the circumstance, bless the person that they must have the drishti and the ability to see him work. And in that conversation, in that prayer, that person is able to gain the blessings of Mahavishnu. Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. Let's hear what happens after he said the prayer. They asked him, what could we give you? We are so pleased with your potency, with the way you offer yourself. So humble, so nice, you talk so good. The only thing we could do right now is bless you. Tell me where you want. Here with his man up and ask. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam. Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari. Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham. Janaki Nayakam Ramachandra Vaje. Atayuda Vishnu Mayatam Punshatre Lokshikaye Mane. Dvija Mayayatam Vishnu Lokyati Veda Shrishtayatam Thambaye Atav. Achyutam Keshavam Satyabhamadavam Madhavam Sridharam Radhikaraditam Indira Mandiram Chetasa Sundaram Devaki Nandanam Nandajam Sandade. Vishnave Jishnave Shankarne Chakrane Rukmini Raghini Janiki Janave Valdavi Valdave Archite Atmane Kamsavid Vamshini Vamshine Te Nama. Krishna Govinda He Ramanarayana. Shripate Vasudeva Archite Srinidhi. Achyuta Ananda He Madhava Duksaja. Dwaraka Nayaka Draupadi Rakshaka. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam. Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari. Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham. Janaki Nayakam Ramachandra Vaje. Janaki Nayakam Ramachandra Vaje. Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. Achyuta, the person, that name, it means the infallible one. The person that when I lose faith in anything, I can lose faith in my marriage, children will disappoint, the job, they use you for 30 years and then the first sight of weakness, they change you. People disappoint. But my God, Achyutaya or Achyutam, is the person I know through thick and thin. If I get myself correct, he will never fail. He never falls. For that reason, I call on him in my good moments. I call on him in my bad moments. Whatever you want, O Muni, O child, ask for it now, and you will get it. There is no limit. He says, Prabhu, I have heard how powerful your illusion, your illusionary powers are. But because of my prayer, I never got corrupted. Hear this, eh? I never got distracted. I never got pulled and pushed in this life. I only went where my prayer took me, physical location, or where in prayer my mind remembered you, or I saw you in the depths of sleep, etc. But it always had you in it. Dear Lord, I want to understand how your illusion works, how that Maya appears. Please tell me. If you would allow me to see it. Narayan looks at Nara, smiles, and he says, Swasti, you'll get it. And without any further discussion, the two disappear, leaving Markandeya to sit, as time is passing, sit on the Pushpa Bhadra bank, this wonderful calming place. And he would do his dhyan, his meditation, jap, etc. Waiting, not knowing, not anxiously, not impatiently, just waiting. One day he will see what he was praying for. But as time passed, it was now time for one of the pralay. The earth is about to recycle. Lord Vishnu is going to pull back everything in his body. Nothingness is going to happen. Destruction starts. Flooding. The wind is furious. And he's sitting there, but he's feeling the breeze pushing on his skin. Rain is beating his body. The waters from the river rose so much that at some point, he is, as he looks around, there's no more landmass, but he's floating, fighting to stay afloat, only in water as far as you could see. He is hungry, there's nothing. He's tired after treading water for many years, not one day, not one night. It says the sage Markandeya alone survived in this calamity. As far as he could see, he was the only person, and he's suffering, troubled by crocodiles, whales, big, small creatures in that water. The wind did not stop. The water, the waves itself, it swole, and it was getting rough, and then it would get calm, and then back to rough. In this way, sometimes, O Parikshit, he was pulled into the depths of the water in whirlpools as the current became very turbulent at times. He is overcome with grief when he feels, what did I do to suffer like this? Sometimes, because of how hungry he is, he thought he saw a mirage or something that is not really. He thought he saw land. He thought he saw Vishnu Baba. He thought he saw Shiv Baba, and he's talking to them out of delirium. When the salt goes too low, you haven't eaten. This is one of the signs of starvation. Innumerable years pass, and one day out of nowhere, Parikshit, he sees this beautiful banyan tree growing out of the water. And from the banyan tree, one of the bigger leaves is floating on the surface. And after all this time, not seeing any creation, nothing physical, everything is fluid, water, on the leaf now, he sees a very dark, beautiful, soft, young baby. On the chest of this child, it has a perfect footprint. No gem, no crown, no nothing. But just the similar stamp on his chest. Just as what Bhrigu gave to Mahavishnu in adult form, he recognizes. Think about the devotee who sees and he's touching the child and tracing the footstep, and he tells himself, this look like Vishnu. But this is not the person I pray to. It doesn't look like the Murti. Me and you probably would have do the same thing. If I see a monkey standing up with a mukdar, he look like Hanuman, but me ain't sure. Put his hand and he was playing with the hair. How soft the child hair was. Curly. The lips were very red. The ears, the lobe. Remember I tell you why God does give people some people big ears or properly formed earlobes. More big the ears is, it is a reflection of the intelligence, spiritual intelligence, physical intelligence of the individual soul. As a person knowing that, he checks the ears and he's playing with the ears. When you look at your Indian movie next time, as I said that night, when you see somebody apologizing, "Mommy, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that," and you see they pull their ears. In other words, I should know better. I have better sense. And I am sorry. I should not have done it. I don't want to do it again. I won't do it again. This posture is a way of asking for forgiveness in our ways, in our dharma. And that's why. This person is admiring the beauty. The eyes, he talked about how the lower part of the eye is very red, very healthy. The navel, he paid attention, he knows his God, and he's looking for those spots. Lord Vishnu is the one who is called Padma Lochan. Lochan meaning the eye, Padma eyes that are like the lotus flower. Padma Nabhya, he has a very deep, in some forms, shallow, looking like the pod of the lotus flower, that flat part. Very flat navel. So he goes now watching the body, examining the body. All the while, how come? Where were you? Where's your mother? And when he asked, how did you reach her? The only thing the child did, pull up the foot and started to suck the toe. Will you not tell me anything? You go answer me. You go teach me nothing. And you are the same Vishnu. I've been suffering here for so long. And I've only been praying. The child took out the toe from the mouth. I want you to think about if it were you, frustrated, prayed for something, and it seems I'm getting punished just after years of this type of lifestyle. The person might, react different. Lord Vishnu takes out the baby toe from his mouth, and with the inhaling air, pulls Markandeya into his body. As far as Markandeya knows, just as how we hear in Ramayana, where Kakbhushun goes into the body of Mahavishnu. Same scenario. He saw continents, he saw the cardinal points. It's as if when Kubir gets in charge of the direction from Lord Shiva after Ravan stole Lanka. Imagine me and you passing, and we seeing Kubir do we so. And he passing and he seeing a different direction, the guy in charge of south, the guy in charge of east, and he's watching how God's creation is being stretched in front of him. As he's going, he saw the elements, the 5 dot we will put on the Jandi, the 5 dot we just put on the Tasa, the 5 elements, the time, what is a yug, what is a kalp, all these things now stand up as devatas receiving him as he went into the lung of Mahavishnu, and as he's coming out now, he sees Lakshmi Saraswati, the goddess, in the form of sound energy, the wave. Now, if I ring my bell and I blow my sank, the energy that causes the particles to push back. Now we see little Saraswati hitting, moving. Evil has to go because it is as if the Devi is coming in the waves and she's pushing. Hence, he understood the effectiveness of some of the things we do. The mantra is sound energy. The tasa, when the girl going with the tray on she head, for example, sound energy to push back bad. That sound energy is reflected for our understanding in that Durga form. Mother, you charge first and protect me. The person stood there, and I'm just highlighting 1 or 2 things that he sees, just for children to understand. He did not get it. We don't get it sometimes. Pandit come in my prayers, and when we was doing the arti, I see pep, he blowing the shell, but I really never understand what really going on. So it's Kali Yuga. So you'll see the people doing arti for funeral, Them want to go and hit tasa and call things to run the same soul you're trying to shanty in the funeral. Go next time, you're going to see what I'm saying. Coffin, in front of the coffin, it have the kalsa on a chair or something. Dad, mommy, whoever died, stand up here and watch. Look at children making you proud. They're shining like $1. They're doing everything. Witness it, and when you see it, you're going to say, oh God, look how my child doing good. When you see what they're doing, you'll have closure in your heart. You're going to bless them one, and slowly you're going to leave to go where you have to go. But the same child going and crack that tasa. That tasa man only know one thing. Say he prayers before he start, and that tasa is a blessed tasa. Remember, Saraswati Jayanti night, we just bless them thing and say, God, when the person come, burial, when they crack it, with 5 tikka, the 5 pan leaf, all the ladies, this worship, that right vibration, when it hit, may it push away bad, unrested souls, etc., is in that category, that catchment. So in the prayer, I am saying, allow the soul to watch, but then run the soul. Baba, I do agree with that. I feel the man, they like tasa, and we could hit tasa. Good, fair point. He did like it when he was living. He did like KFC too. The easiest way to understand that point, we're doing RT. If I do RT by you, I would take out my bell and my song and blow and hit. But in a funeral, it could be what funeral, it makes no difference. Even if they were to bury the guru in salt, even if the person is kidnapped or they died at sea, like what happened in Guyana, and they're missing these 68 bodies, they cannot find the body. What about that, Baba? How does that funeral go? Again, you take a bundle of dub grass, you'll tie it in different ways, different ties, and then now it's sitting. If you want to see how it looks, have you ever gone to a religious store and see how they just tie white sage when they're going to burn it? In Christianity, they follow the method of how we tie it. Sometimes you get a kalsa and you see how they strap in different ways, saying prayer to hold it in place. So anyhow, you end up with this bundle of this grass, and you do the funeral on the grass. There's no body now. There's nothing. But we have to start off a pinda. So let's say on this body of grass, the person died at war, the body was destroyed, they died in a fire, the body was destroyed, kidnapped scenario, drunk at sea, and there's no physical human body to do anything. You use the bundle of the grass, you put chandan, perfume, arti, etc., burn it. And after you burn that, funeral, pinda, etc. continues. 1 year, 6 months, 13 days, normal procedure thereafter. In the same way, when you go to RT, that same bundle of grass, even in that type of funeral, no son can bell this ring. Because of this reason, when you break that tenet and you say, right, Bajawe Tasa, I want you to understand how, one, it looks. You really know your dharma. You're going against your own belief. You're going against the same tenets of what you practice. And it shows how much ignorance is running in this Kali. Hindu people know, they know. We have more Google than anything, and still we don't know. By virtue of this yag, for the few young children who hear, I'm talking about children, me know about adults. The children didn't know why we do certain things. But if after spending this time together, we could walk away knowing a little bit, like in the example with this tasa, it's just an example, happened on one point. If one family who did not understand why we just get kush grass for the ring, or to put on them a foot, or how to do the funeral without tasa, imagine we see one change. That is what you're looking for when your yag finished. At the end of the day, I came to the yag to learn. And if I get it, oh boy, the person who does the prayer, the person who make the parsa, the person who lift the book on their head, as we will in our next session, that person gets the blessing as if they have saved the life, the family of this other party, this other person looking on, listening, learning. Remember, this yag is not only about puja. Puja for some, yes, I agree. But for the person listening, they get the blessing as if they did the puja. After he had journeyed in, and imagine now, the little man in this big frame, this big thing, he's seen everything, comes out of the body. But as the baby Vishnu exhaled Markandeya, when he woke up, when he opened his eyes, he was in the same place by the ashram on the bank of the Pushpa Bhadra. No flood, no rain, none of it happened. It was total illusionary. He got the answer for his prayer, and he felt surprised, stunned, astonished, etc. that for all this apparent time that he was in this sansar, going and coming day and night, it felt so real, it felt so damaging, it felt so glorious at times when he was in the company of Mahavishnu, where all his pain went just by seeing the baby. And none of it was real. He was sitting where he was all the time. Prem se bolo Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. Parvati Mata wants to come and talk to Shiva, talk to Markandeya. They are passing and they saw him sitting right where he was in the same said moment. And Lord Shiva came. And whilst they were talking, Mother bless. They listened to him, being so astonished. He is telling them about what he saw. And Shiv Baba is watching as the goddess is talking to this devotee. And he's gushing that, Mother, you should see what I saw. I went in his belly and I saw this and I saw that. Mother says, oh Muni, I am so happy to see the joy, to hear how people who pray speak to one another. When a person activates prayer in their normal conversation, it takes priority. You could tell when somebody has touched something divine. They are so happy to share it. But from a positive perspective, it is so nice to hear how enriched you feel, to share that sentiment. Blessed is a person who does this genuinely, that you are able to enjoy, to touch and activate this part of your brain, that you know bad, you see punishment, and then I saw or felt something that take away that bad. And you cannot lose sight of the gifts that God gave you. It takes priority in your own. Because of this and this action, this behavior, this demeanor, I cannot help but bless you, that may you never get old. May you never face death until when this kalp, when the 71 Maha Yagna, the 14, one kalp is 14 manvantar. When all this time is past and you are ready to go home to Vaikunt, may you make up your mind and you choose when it is that time. In the interim, I bless you that may you never have a pain. May you never have an iota of discomfort from today going forward. Because of your constant devotion to that one called Achyuta, that person who does not leave the devotee. And today, you become an example to everybody that when at times this life feels like you are tottling on the ocean and you have turbulent days, anybody who listens to your discourse, anybody who remembers your story will conquer their problem by the grace of Mahavishnu. Shiva, looking at him, says, as tears was flowing to hear the goddess out of nowhere, just came to tell him this. Mahadev says, because of your now, wisdom is complete, past, present, and the future will benefit from you. I bless you that may you pick up the work of penning something that will be called the Markendeya Puran. And when a person does read themselves or study the verses of this text that you will put down, the person who is ailing, the person who is frustrated, the person who is crying a lot, the person who cannot find the source of their problem, that person will be able to overcome their difficulty, their strain and trouble. Prem se bolo Mahapati Mahadeva ki jai. Put your hands together, everybody. One last verse here. Raja Parikshit, say your prayers as your Bhagwat is about to finish. As you have heard, I have narrated to you the holy history from the start, how Markandeya come and how much time passed in the course of his life, and when it was time for him to leave, what went on. The greatness of this history of the family of Brigu, starting from Brigu, come down to his let me say relative, his descendant, Markandeya. The person who listens to this, O Parikshit, the whole story of Markandeya concerning his worship of Mahavishnu, that person who echoes the prayer where he's praying to Ishwar, Ishwar will come as he came in many times to help Sri Ram, to help Krishna, to help them achieve their goal. In the same way, throughout this life, Mahadev Baba will be kind to such a person just by listening to the katha. When you need saving the most, he will come to assist you to develop the bhakti, to develop the ras. There are some people who know God. There are some people getting to know God. There are some people will never know God. Dear Lord, bless me to be one of those that is in the course of life as I am growing, as I am developing. Bless me to learn about you. Put it into practice, grow and grow up in spirituality. Bless me to know you so that just as Markandeya, I can overcome my hurdles. Bless me to not only pray when I have problems, but bless me to be so happy with just offering up flowers to you, to talk to the lingam, talk to the shaligram. Dear Lord, that food didn't taste good. I should have put this in the curry. I should have eat this. I should wear this slipper, not that slipper. In mundane things, bless me to develop that type of conversation. So much so the Hindu prays, dear Lord, when they're in the car, when they're in the office. We spoke about the peacock feather. In everything I could see the God. The plant, the mud, the sky, astral bodies drove in the North Star, the Surge Narayan, the movement of the moon, the time that is moving. In everything I could find the Lord, but it is me sometimes who the glasses needs to get clean, the vision needs to get sharper. Blessed is the person that listens to this section of Bhagwat, that they have the divinity in them, like a little deer shining, showing them the way to find betterment in bhakti towards Mahavishnu. Akashatam patitam toyam yadha grakshatim tu sagaram sarvo devam namaskaram Keshava patigrakshatim ya eva mitadrivyatam gunavarna varshitam yena rata idam pindayakshakam yena drivaya darshanam manasa shravantikam shruyantam dvijayate bhakta bhakta vatsalam idam vishnu idam chakra adhyay shri Maha Ganapati Maha Puran Shri Bhagwat Katha Dwadas Skande Shri Maha Shri Dasamodhyaya Bhyo Nama Vishnu Bhagwan Ki Jai. As we pause here, let me ask, I have Pandit Davendra. I have Pandit Davendra. Babs, based on where we're talking, come and give you a little blessing, a little perspective, please. Prem se bolo Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Let's share the mic with Babaji.
एक बार बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। Sitaram, everybody.
Sitaram.
Wonderful discourse, Baba. Very enlightening. It's very rare when we can hear kathas like the katha of Markendeya. It's not something that is commonly read. And when we get the opportunity to listen to such rare gems as taken from our scriptures, we are truly blessed. Bhagwat Mahapuran teaches us about the different episodes and the different experiences of bhaktas who had come into contact with Bhagwan in various forms. And in Sanatana Dharma we say, Bhagwan is ek satyam vipra bahuda vadanti. Ek satyam, one truth. Vipra bahuda vadanti, many are his forms and manifestations. And every one of us, every individual is like that. We are just like Bhagwan. One individual, but many titles, many names. Every one of us. A father, a husband, a brother, an employer, an employee, a neighbor, a friend, a father-in-law, a brother-in-law. One individual, one man will have so many different titles, but there's just one person. A mother, same like. To her siblings, she is a sister. To her children, she is Amma. To her nieces and nephews, Mausi or Kaki. Different names, same individual. And just like this, we are all like that. We were just like Bhagwan. Ek satyam vipra bahuda vadanti. In our mantra, we say, Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhuscha. God, you are my mother, you are my father, you are my brother, or sakha tvameva, you are my friend. How many of you regard God as your friend? Our Christian brothers say, our Father, thou art in, where? Thou art in heaven. In our Sanatana Dharma, we say God is here with us. Every molecule of our body, every atom of this atmosphere, Bhagwan resides. Bhagwan sits inside here. You know, in the very same Bible it says, seek ye the kingdom of the Lord, for the kingdom of the Lord resides in the heart of man. God resides within our hearts. He sits together with the Atma, with the Jiva. Bhagwan is Atma and our individual soul is Jiva. Combined we call Jiva Atma. Baba? Jiva Atma. And when God's energy fails to stay in this body through this prana, then the Jiva leaves, and that's what that is. Raja Parikshit is listening to Katha to prepare for his own demise. And he was told that he had 7 days to live. Every one of us, we have 7 days to live. How many days are there in a week? 7 days? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Every one of us have 7 days. One out of these 7 days, we all are going to go. So, but many of us have not realized our own limitations. We live life as though we think we will never die. We live life filled with ego and hate and animosity for fellow man. And we think that we will never die. That's the difference between ourselves and Parikshit. Parikshit became aware of his limited lifespan. But we live as though we will never die. I want to share a little experience I had this week. Baba knows. On Saturday last, my wife suffered a stroke. She almost died. She got a stroke and it affected her right side and her speech. And she stayed in San Grande Hospital from Saturday straight on to Wednesday night. Got discharged at 12:30 in the night. I live at Cuba, so you know it's not a far drive, right? Only about an hour and a half, right? We came back home Thursday morning. She could not move her right side. And Thursday morning, while I was doing my morning devotions, my daughter helped her and brought her outside to the prayer area. And she made her offering on the lingam of jal, of flowers, bowed, went back inside. And because of the medication, she fell asleep. Half an hour into her sleep, we heard her calling out. My daughter and myself and my little grandson, we were outside. We heard her call out. And when we heard her call out and ran inside because panic, knowing her situation, she said somebody just lifted her foot. Who was in the room? I said, nobody. She said, somebody lifted her foot. I said, but nobody's here. And I put on the light because the room was dark. Because she also had a migraine and she needed to stay away from the light. And when I put on the room light, there was nobody. And she said, somebody lifted my foot. She could not move her foot. She couldn't move her leg. And when I put on the light, her right leg was up in the air. So I went, put it on flat. I said, raise it again. She raised it. I said, put it on back. I said, raise it again. She raised it. I said, what about the hand? You could raise your hand? She said, I don't know. I said, try. And she raised the hand over her head. No pain. And she suffered a stroke because of a blood clot to the back of her head. Dangerous. I'm sharing this with you to tell you that if you have faith, if you have Shraddha, Bhakti in your prayer, you don't have to learn the language, you know. You don't have to know mantras, you know. Just your sincerity of prayer. And believe you me, there's nothing in this world that can ever stop you. I messaged Bhaiya and I told him that I may not be able to come. Yesterday I took her to see a doctor in Pinal and we started some therapy. And this morning she was walking without any aid except a stick.
God bless you.
She still has to deal with the blood clot in her head. I'm here this morning as testimony that prayer works. That Bhagwan really exists. In my 40 years of serving Dharma, It's a little bit of time, right? 40 years.
Only.
Only. And in my 40 years serving Dharma, I have witnessed so many miraculous things happen with people. And today in my own home, I'm experiencing it.
God bless you.
So, you see Bhagwan Shankar? He's a wonderful fellow, you know. I've not only been blessed with darshan of physically seeing him with these eyes. I had that experience. But in my own home, I have seen him work in a physical way with my wife. I want to say thank you for Panditji and quite a few Pandits who heard about what had happened. They all showed support. Some of them sat and did jap, mantra jap, havan, in their own private way. And believe you me, prayers really work.
Prayers is work.
Prayers really work. Sri Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Before I exit the stage, I would like to render a bhajan. And you all can join with me as we do this. So let me just get a moment to get a space with the harmonium, and you have a mic stand. Yeah? Bhagwan Shankar. 1, 2, 1, 1. Bhagwan Shankar is Avinashi. He resides in every atom. He's all over. And this bhajan is dedicated to this Bhagwan, who is the remover of all sins and all negativity. Jai Jai Shiva Vinashi. Oh Jai 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 Shiva Vinashi. Jai 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 Shiva अज विनाशी। हरत पाप कतयम ख्याति, हरत पाप कतयम ख्याति। जय 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 शिव अज विनाशी। बोलो ओ जय 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 शिव अज विनाशी। भक्ति प्रदाता जग का दाता, भक्ति प्रदाता जग का दाता। आनंद मन का आनंद राशि, आनंद मन का आनंद राशि। जय 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 शिव अज विनाशी। बोलो जय जय। घट घट व्यापी परम प्रतापी, घट घट व्यापी परम प्रतापी। सेवत परपुर नर संन्यासी, सेवत परपुर नर संन्यासी। जय 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 शिव अज विनाशी। बोलो जय 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 शिव, जय 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 शिव। महादयालु परम कृपालु, महादयालु परम कृपा। गिरधारानी राखी दासी, गिरधारानी राखी दासी। जय 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 शिव अज। बोलो जय 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 शिव। ओ जय 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 शिव। सेवक प्रभु श्री लाल चरण, सेवक प्रभु श्री लाल चरण का। मुक्ति करो आनंद बनवाते, मुक्ति करो आनंद बनवाते। जय 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 शिव अज, जय 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 शिव अज। ओ जय 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 शिव अज। हरत पाप कतयम ख्याति, हरत पाप कतयम ख्याति। जय 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 शिव, जय जय शिव। जय 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 शिव। Ladies, join with your voices. Everybody join. Clap your hands if you feel like this. Let's just praise the name of Narayan. Hari 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 Narayana. Om Narayana. Everybody. Hari 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 Hari. Om Narayana. Everybody. Hari 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 Narayana Om Narayana Hari 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 Narayana Om Narayana Om Namo Narayana Hari Om Namo Narayana Bolo Om Namo Om Namo Narayana Hari Om Namo Narayana Om Namo Narayana Om Namo Narayana Hari 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 Narayana Om Narayana Bolo Hari Hari Govinda Narayana Hari Gopal Narayana Govinda Narayana Govinda Narayana Hari Gopal 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 Narayana Hari 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 Narayana Om Narayana Gaye Hari 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 Narayana Om Narayana Om Namo Narayana Hari Om Namo 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 Narayana Hari 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 Narayana Om 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 Narayana Baki Bihari Lal ki
Thank you, Baba. Principal Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai. For the purpose of teaching children, bear with me as I have one or two people that I want to share with my microphone today. Antipar, how old is now? I can ask you. 96 years old. And the reason why I ask you that, I have a bad way. I like to complain when things don't go my way, or I have a little knee pain or a little hip pain. As I just say, I'm getting old. But Andy Parvati is somebody who just go and now go and fix people up to now, if you get a chance. She going to help you fix for your prayers. She did so Jamajora and what you do at 96. So we went, she granddaughter runs a nice store, where they're from in Ramaitris, House of Zari. And we went down by them before the job. And she trying to tell Mama, good girl, you know, I just take rest. I don't thread the needle anymore. Vina now called me and she said, well, keep Mama by you. She'll get to sing. Because she did sing all the song, eh? She did teach people all the song. God really bless some people, you know. Me, I don't know if we could get to be 96 and still so competent. But you really have to be able to see blessings sometime. Children nowadays, from Pandit perspective, and Pandit had his own story, tell me one side of a story there. But if you don't ever hear about trouble, some people will never know trouble until they're in trouble. I want to introduce all you, Sitaram. It have somebody here named Miss Kasturi Haricharan. Different kind of trouble. She here still? Yes? Let me call you. I'm going to share the mic with you. She and Auntie Sita are here with Dr. Charles and Dr. Mosai and other people. Sita is a mother of a daughter that died, unfortunately. And this young lady, I just wanted her to talk, and again, bear with me, is really for children and for parents to put it in perspective about the struggles that people go through. Such a an auntie and Mike there.
Sitaram, everybody.
Namaste. My name is Kasturi and I'm 31 years old. I was diagnosed with beta thalassemia major when I was 1 year and 3 months old. So with thalassemia, the body cannot produce healthy red blood cells. That means for the past 30 years, I have been alive through the constant supply of blood through donations and regular transfusions. Before diagnosis, my parents noticed that I was not growing properly. My facial bones were expanding and my hair was dropping. I also had a low appetite and my spleen and liver were enlarged. As a result, I looked like a malnourished child. Skin and bones, had a tummy like that of a 9-month pregnant woman, and my forehead was pushed out. At that age, I was given a transfusion of 2 units of red blood cells immediately. If I did not get this transfusion, within 3 days, I would have died. My parents tirelessly sought blood donors despite facing many refusals. This became a major part of their life, finding blood donors, and they spent most of their time with me at hospital trips. Most of my childhood was spent in the hospital getting blood transfusions, and this meant missing school and the life a normal child would have to live. After 12 transfusions of red blood cells, I moved on to the next step of my treatment. Excess iron accumulates in the body due to regular transfusions. It is stored in certain organs, especially the liver, heart, and endocrine glands. If too much of this iron is stored in these organs, they can be poisoned. To remove this excess iron from my body, I have been using medication that chelates or removes the iron from my organs. These medications keep me alive and healthy, but it must be taken every day and on empty stomach, 30 minutes before I have my first meal. After a while of treatments, I no longer looked like a thalassemia, and this is how I can look the way I am today. My spleen and liver went back to the normal size, and my hair grew back. Similarly, my bones regained their normal shape. This happened because my hemoglobin level was not allowed to drop too low thanks to the transfusions. At present, I receive 1 to 2 units of red blood cells every 2 to 3 weeks. However, it is necessary to keep check of the iron content in the body. I do regular blood tests for this. I must, however, be cautious of the food, snacks, and drinks that I consume. I cannot have foods which are high in iron, so that it would not add to the iron overload problem. So I don't have things like bhaji, beetroot, green fig, chocolate, cornflakes, and Milo. I have not let my challenges with my health get me down, and I strive to live a normal, healthy life. However, the campaign for blood has never ended. Through different means, we were able to get blood. We gave out pamphlets by traffic lights, stores, etc. We also went to different newspapers, and at present, whenever I get the opportunity, I encourage people to donate voluntary blood, to become voluntary blood donors. I will end with this simple request to ask your family members and those who are able to consider becoming a blood donor. There are other people like myself who depend on frequent blood transfusions to survive, and your help will help save lives. Thank you for letting me share my story with you, and I want to thank each of you who choose to donate blood for helping me and others live a normal life. Namaste and thank you.
I want you to remember what she just said. Voluntary donation of the blood. Because when people like them and others need, meaning we get in a car accident now, we need to run to the hospital, something happened. Baby have to come, we need blood. Don't worry, Pundit, 1200, because of your blood type. It has common, it has less common type. Going rate, $900, more deadly type of blood, $1,200 a bag. Typical baby, 3 bag, 4 bag. People like them, depending 2 weeks, 1 month, depending on your time, your health, the circumstance. Where people go get that? How you gonna afford that? How do you do that? When people sit down and they pray, consider how did this pray and what did this be praying for. When me and you complain, and I telling you I just complain, I'm talking from experience, I'm a national complainer. When you hear other people's stories sometimes, it really make you think about that. Today I have with me a doctor, and I'll go to she just now, because she and she daddy were special people. But I would like my Pandit Neil Maharaj, who's no stranger to this area. Baba, please come give you a little blessing, please. Dr. Sharda, I'm calling you after, from your perspective.
Everyone.
Sita.
And Jai Shri Krishna, blessings. The beautiful ashram. Always looking on Facebook and looking at this ashram in Hindustan. I said one day I'll visit this ashram, and today I had the blessings to visit this ashram during this time of Bhagwat. Last year he invited me for the Bhagwat, but I could not be here. I was in India. And Sarah said, you know what, we are going to the Bhagwat this year. And we also are having Bhagwat in a week. A week we will have Bhagwat also in Princess Tong from my father-in-law. You all know him as Balkaran Singh or the Eggman, right? So it's a blessing for all of us to participate in Bhagwat Katha. And this is not given to us just so. It is given to us through our good karmas. And of course, because of our good deeds and values in our life, we are here sitting today to listen to the scripture as been read by our dear Vyashi, Keshava Gosine. And I urge you all now to put hands together, close eyes, bow heads in prayer. As we focus our thoughts and minds to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, we pray for all the Atmas who have gone to the great beyond. And we pray for our soul also. May we all be blessed by the name of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandamacha Nanda Gopala Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Yada Yadai Dharmasya Grani Bharatiya Bharata Abhyutanam Dharmasya Sarnatanam Shijanyaham Ranikaranta Sadhuna Vinashaya Chanushritam Dharma Sanskar Panartaya Sambhavani Yuge Yuge. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Krishna Bhagavan ki Jai.
Thank you, Baba. Dr. Sharda, as a devout Hindu, as a medical profession, please come and share with me your thoughts, prayers, the use of your prayer in your job and as a daughter with your father. These children had to get some chocolate. All only saying parsad and only saying what they want. All they said the right parsad, man. Who's this? Kushi? I see.
Jai Sitaram.
Jai Sitaram.
Brahmin Devatas, devotees, and most importantly, the one who is present with us today, Prabhu. Pitra Devatas, everyone, my humblest pranams. Pandit, I would give you a little correction. I am not a medical doctor. I am a doctor of academia.
Okay.
So I do not have a degree of medicine. I have a PhD. You asked me today to talk about the greatest gift my father gave me, which was Sanatan Dharma. Everything I am, everything I have is because of the Most High, because of Adi Shakti Jagadamba Mata. But as a Sanatanist, Yajurved teaches us that Pita Devo Bhava, your father and your mother is your God. And everything I am is because of my father. From my blood, from my name, I got that from my father. And my father was someone who, more than he loved me, and everyone who knows us personally know that I am a daddy's girl, but my father's favorite child was his son-in-law. So more than he loved me, and more than he loved you, he loved the divine more. And when my father died, I tell everyone I became an orphan. Even as old as I am, even as a mother, I became an orphan. And I was hurt that I lost my father, but then I look at God, and I look at the most beautiful Keshav in the world, and I tell myself, my father would see something so beautiful and so divine, he wouldn't choose to stay here, he would go with that God. And as a Hindu, not because the scriptures teaches us the greatness of God, I believe in God, just as Panditji said. I believe in God. I know that I serve a mighty God. I know that I serve a God that crosses oceans, that can lift mountains. I know I worship that God because of miracles I witnessed as a child and adult growing up, even in my own home, even in the temple. I do not know God because of scriptures. I know God because of miracles. And My God is a mighty God. My God, yes, may be an idol, but that idol is the most powerful thing I have ever seen. My God is made of earth, and that earth absorbs that energy and shows me all the love in the world. I am a proud Sanatanist. Every inch of me is a proud Sanatanist. And to every young person here, because Pandit says he does this for the children, I am telling you, don't let anyone tell you anything about your religion. You serve in the greatest religion of all time, the ones where our forefathers gave up their life for our Dharma to live. That is the great Dharma we serve. We serve a Dharma that teaches us the greatest lessons in life, that is proven scientifically all over. And our God is so great, and He's always there. And I am who I am, as I said, because of this God. And you can be anything you want to be. You can make any great impact in this world because of God's blessings, because of God's grace. And that is the power of our God. A God whose mere name can make the blind see and make the lame scale the highest mountains. And we serve a Dharma so great. Sitaram.
Sita. Now I'm a little boy in front of Senior Pundit, but in everybody's experience, if we had to wrap up now, everybody has bad days. And while Sharda did not tell we about all, and Pandit didn't tell we about all, you could see it for yourself. Sita, if you started to tell us about some of your bad days, we'll be crying more than clapping. And maybe that is how we grow. Maybe everybody tell you, time does heal all wounds. I just always say that is stupidness. You don't forget. You just try to forget. You try to move on. But maybe the bad days come to help a person get some direction. Some people turn to the bar. Some people, and whilst there's nothing wrong with taking a little drink, don't get me wrong, I'm saying it, the addiction becomes the problem. Anything that goes too far could become deadly. In the same way, if I look for solace in the wrong thing, when life squeezes me, I could overeat oil and get a huge belly. For example, comfort food. And I could end up in trouble too. Anything that is overdone because of life's lessons could damage me. If the person does not have a strong support system, as a grandmother that could inspire somebody, don't worry, this could pass. As a mother, or even somebody motherly like a friend or a daughter, when her father was, see it in your head, understand what I'm telling you. When you have a daughter that will hold your hand, our Hindu text say you have a son, it does say in Hindu text, I was shocked when I found it, you have a son until you get a wife, you have a daughter throughout life. And when you have a daughter and she is minimizing her prayer and feet, but you have a daughter to hold your hand when you're fed up by yourself, you say, oh God, make me, say, oh God, let me come, kind of moment, and your daughter say, Daddy, hey, catch yourself. Say your prayers, come on, man. Then you have a reason to hold. When you have a spouse, when you're crying, look what trouble I given your boy. Look at how much money I spending, boy. And your spouse could hold you. And that way money for? And that way we work hard for? Don't study that, not right now. I'm not going to sink you right now. We're going to study that bill when you get up. In the moment. That direction, that whole, that is a form of God. Like the divine. Every day we catch retail. Don't fool yourself. And every day is for we to catch ourselves sometimes and focus on we prayers and God and God. If you lay yourself sink in depression, I don't know how people is pray when they had depression. I don't know how you get up and ask God for support. God, give me hope. when you're hopeless. One day you had to sit down. You see all the tanti to all the bless, God bless all. We are her karma like all. I'm pretty sure. I have some karma, but me I have 96 to remember all them songs. I read in the bhajan book here. If I only move my eye from this page, I forget. And she could sing them songs like the back of she hand for you, and she could probably tell you just make a mistake in it. Yes, testimony that good and blessing does exist, but we, maybe me are waiting for somebody who have a terminal illness to say it. Maybe me with my little stress, where I just complain every day about. Maybe me are good, like some people. I walk amongst better, if you follow me. It have hope. God bless you. Thank you for coming and uplifting we prayers. Pandit, you're going through hell right now, and you're smiling for we. Thank you. I don't know how you still living, but it have to have a God. There are many people sit down here watching me right now, and you know you're going through the fire and you come out. Thank you for always being the person to show people it have a day, it have a way. Say your prayers, and prayers does work. You cry one day, you wipe that tears, and you tell Krishna, lift that mountain, Hanuman, walk with me. Before this book could read it, if somebody sit down and we really talk some sense, and not gossip, not craziness, but we talk real, we talk life, then maybe we going to learn how to approach life. And children, when they see trouble, they might know how to tackle it. That is why I highlight one or two people. It have some people, if I ask you to come and say something, it might be too much for children to hear. It has some rough stories sit down here, in this little circle. But all you know who all is. But I wouldn't do that. Thank you for who shared a little story. God bless these children that they get to benefit. Not only who hear, but maybe the kind who wouldn't want to be here too, if you understand what I mean. Not everybody reach the point that they're ready to learn or to improve. But you don't give up on them. You still have to work with them. And you make the avenue possible that when the moment when God say, hey, you see you, it's time for you to check yourself. When that time comes, we're ready for that too. Principle of Indravan Bihari Lalaki. Everybody, again, whatever we do for the children. Now we stand as we do a little arti now. Before we take a little break, Pandit Adish is watching me very hard because he have time to do his puja. Everybody, put your hands together and you take a second as we've been doing today. Today is our last day of our Bhagwat. And we have been praying with a purpose. Dear God, we have trouble. Every person has trouble. And we want to get out. We want to get a reprieve from this trouble. Let's join together as we wave the light. Remember, don't let it just be a song. In it, see that word where you say Shanti Geet, amongst the other things, this where we chanting is a song. Gita means song, peace. Bring some peace. You see when your head hot and it's boiling and you don't know what to do, which way is up, bring a little peace. Bless me now. I'm looking for a little peace in my life. Little things help people live every day. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam deepam grahana devesham Trailokya timidapaham.
Jai 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 Bhagwatam. Jai 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 Bhagwatam. Jai 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 Bhagwatam. Jai 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 Bhagwatam. Jai Bhagwat भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को जय 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 भागवतम,
जय 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 भागवतम, जय 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 भागवतम, जय 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 भागवतम।
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मोक्ष पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने वाला। ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मोक्ष पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने वाला। हरि गान यही वरदान यही, हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही, जग के मंगल की आरती। पापियों को पाप से है आरती, जय भागवत भगवान की
है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है आरती।
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत, पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्शन दिखाने वाला। ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत, पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्शन दिखाने वाला। है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी, है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी, ये मधुसूदन की आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती, जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती। ये मधुर बोल जगपन खोल, सन्मान दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला। ये मधुर बोल जगपन खोल, सन्मान दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला। श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही, श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही, प्रभु की महिमा की आरती। पापियों को पाप से तारती, जय भागवत भगवान की जय आरती। पापियों को पाप से तारती, जय भागवत भगवान
जय आरती। पापियों को पाप से आरती।
जय 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 भागवतम, जय 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 भागवतम। बोलो
जय 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 भागवतम, जय 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 भागवतम।
जय जय राधा, जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल,
जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल,
जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल। हो जय जय राधा
रमन हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल,
जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल, हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल। Ramanan Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol.
Oh Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Raman
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, bolo, Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Hari Bol, 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 Hari Mata च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च त्वमेव विद्या त्वमेव सर्वम् त्वमेव सर्वम् Om Shanti. Everybody. Shanti. Shanti. Hari. Prem se bolo Mahapati Mahadeva ki. Pavana Putra Hanuman ki. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki. Jai. Jai Jai. Sitaram. Sitaram.